Let's turn to business news on a Friday night with Nona Peltier.
Here we go.
Here we go, Nona. Kiwi Bank's annual profit down by more than half.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, they had a really tough year. And one of the things that hit their bottom line was a write-off of their computer system. So they have a computer system that is working, but the one that they kind of hoped would give them their future platform, after some review, decided it probably won't. And so wrote it off $90 million
Holy
worth. Yeah.
moly.
So that wasn't great. I mean, and they had no choice.
So that's a one-off hit though, right?
It's a one-time thing, but they still have to now look at what they need.
Yeah.
So more cost, more investment, in the sense that they're going to need to find a way to interact with their customers, because 40% of their sales are now online. More than 50% of their customers want to be online. This is like a move that all New Zealand businesses are facing. And, you know, a recent survey showed that that a lot of small companies are struggling too with this whole movement towards digital online services. So it's a big thing. Anyway, they ended up with their profit at $53 million versus $124 million the year earlier. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so good. And of course, that's a New Zealand-owned bank. That's owned by the people of New Zealand. So yeah, we're going to have to see what happens with them. They say that they've still got good heart. They got new shareholders in the ACC and the super fund.
And the profit, whilst that cost impacts on profit, doesn't impact on revenue, right? So
yeah, they still had some revenue, but look,
yeah.
I mean, if you're not in the game, you're not going to get the revenue either, because the sales depend on having that interaction. And you know, Spark did a survey of small medium businesses, and they released those findings yesterday or this morning. And basically, it's the same sort of story. I mean, 60% of New Zealand's small businesses have an online e-commerce presence. And 18% of small businesses don't have any presence whatsoever. Over 40% spend less than 1 hour a week online, and that compares with their customers who are spending like all of their time online. So yeah, you better get on the game, right?
Right.
So there you go.
New Zealand terms of trade, are we looking at those briefly?
Yeah, we'll look at that briefly. Okay, so New Zealand's terms of trade, and that's really our purchasing power. It's at the highest level it's been in, like, well, near record level. So really strong, and expected to break those records later this year. So the first half of the year, really strong, and mostly because of better prices for meat and butter. And that kind of helped the New Zealand dollar, which really took a bit of a dive yesterday.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah, the market doesn't like change, you know, and especially political change. It creates uncertainty. So the New Zealand dollar dipped after the poll, the Television New Zealand poll, and then, of course, the debate. So the dollar dipped overnight, but it did regain most of the ground it lost, and so finished up the day about where it was yesterday at 71.7 US cents. That's still below that key mark of 72. So it actually has fallen quite a lot over the past month. So I looked back early August, it was at 75 US cents. So, you know, 71.7, that's a lot of drop in a month. A 90.3 Australian, 55.5 British pence, and our NZX Top 50 Index just a handful of points up. That's, I mean, really just 5 to 7,822.
Nice work this week, Nona Peltier. I'm struck by how often I hear your voice on Morning Report 2 at 6:45 a.m. Hey, working the long hours.
I guess.
Have a great weekend, Nona.
And you.
Thank you.